just happened? How did he do that?
Ooh, boom. Hello and welcome, everybody, to tonight's fantastic, amazing dinosaur action on Magic the Gathering Arena. I guess I'm still tired. When you work all day, you come home, you do stuff. Sometimes you fall asleep, and I guess that's, again, just what I did last night. But tonight is going to be absolutely fantastic. A little bit of a different spin, and opponents wondering, hey, how the heck did this guy do that? Continuing with the Stampede variation, tonight does not include the namesake Galtus Stampede Tyrant, though. Hopefully your week's been going good. Even if it hasn't, as always, we're going to have a lovely time right here. Whatever you've been doing, whatever you've been working at, get that little dino up there. Get the background away. I adjusted the audio a little bit, the background music and whatnot, but hopefully I am coming through all right. I rewatched the stream from 2 nights ago and everything seemed to be good, but yeah. List in the description, the link tree to the Discord, and all those lovely things. But we'll get into a lot of the spicy changes tonight. It's going to be a doozy. You know it's going to be absolutely ruthless aggression. Maybe I'll make myself a little bit bigger because, well, it's a whole lot of big stuff. It usually is with this particular way to play dinosaurs, of course. But right off the bat, no Galtus Stampede Tyrant, the namesake. Of course, Galtus Stampede Tyrant. I have not completely moved away from that lovely dinosaur. But I just thought, just because, I'm going to try trimming the Queen, the new OG, because there is an older version of Galta Primal Hunger, but that one also isn't in here. So trimming Galta, just relying on simply playing a bunch of big stuff ahead of schedule. Of course, Galta Stampede Tyrant, even if Galta puts out, let's say, 1 Tyrranax Rex, you spend 8 for a 12/12 trample, which is what Galta Stampede Tyrant is, plus the 8/8 trample, haste, the good stuff that T-Rex is. A total of 8 for those 2 creatures. That's still pretty fantastic. So Galta Stampede Tyrant absolutely could just, stay in here. I could trim Regal Imperiosaur and Pugnacious. These guys are in because they're cheap and big, which is lovely, and still most of the stuff in here is a dinosaur. I mean, a large portion. So Regal Imperiosaur kind of, well, I wanted to try it out again. I love this dinosaur, even though I haven't used it as much as I thought I would. But we got Chandra's Ignition, and what am I hearing? Hearing a sound. Gonna look out the window 1 second. Sounds a little funny. It just sounds like something's running outside. Not sure what it is. A vent, a heater or something. Anyways, we're off on a tangent. We'll get right back into the action here, which is Pugnacious, Regal Imperiosaur. Cheap stuff that is also big, that is a dinosaur. Now, it doesn't have to be a dinosaur. You can play whatever creature you want. But Pugnacious having 6 power, leading me to the Chandra's Ignition. The thing that's going to get me out of many sticky situations. Hopefully tonight we have an absolutely fantastic example. But hoping to play Pugnacious on turn 3, maybe Overlord of the Hauntwoods turn 4, when I can make 6 for a castle, so I can play Overlord as a creature. I'm still left with 1 green that doesn't get used from Castle Garenbrig, because you only need 5 for Overlord. But that will get me easily to my second source of red, easily to 5 total lands for Chandra's Ignition. Of course, Overlord is a creature itself, which is also going to lend it to helping Chandra's Ignition actually do something. But we got a big thing, boom. Then the opponent has absolutely nothing, which is going to be very exciting. Every opponent will have nothing, and they're dealt damage. That's about as versatile as you can possibly get. Is it Rakdos Demons with the 6/6 Flying Demon from Ritual Chamber. Don't care. It's gone, and the opponent has been dealt 6 because maybe I have a Pugnacious out. Chances are Pugnacious would get killed by Fatal Push or, some other type of removal, which I'm sure we've all experienced when you're playing dinosaurs or any deck, really. But commune with dinosaurs because there's, I guess, a reasonable amount of stuff that isn't a dino in here. I still could have commune, but I just thought I'm gonna do Smuggler Surprise. I'm gonna dig deeper to get the stuff. The 2 for the spree cost, milling 4 cards, lovely. And there's a reasonable chance that I could get to a total of 6, putting 2 creatures from my hand onto the battlefield, maintaining the spirit of Galta and all that. But yeah, with Sylvan Scrying, Archdruid's Charm, and Chandra's Ignition to start, that is 12 things. Actually, Overlord, 16 things. Technically 19 because there's 3 other communes if I had it, but that's a lot of stuff that commune cannot grab. Sometimes there's nothing to grab. When you creep up to 16, 19-ish, it's not great. It's not great. Yeah, that sound is really loud. Maybe it's in the basement. Strange. Could also be my computer. Might have to clean it out. Hard to say, but it's not hard to say that this variation is going to be absolutely amazing. Back to nature, as always. If you don't like enchantments, boom, they're gone. Brotherhood's End, boom, 3 damage to everything. That's good. A cheaper sweeper than Chandra's Ignition. Pairing that, both of them together to really smoke many opponents. Weathered Runestone as well for things that want to be cheated out of the graveyard, or sometimes the library stops it. Done. There you go. And players can't cast spells from graveyards or libraries. It's a good catch-all, definitely. And then, if by chance we face off against an opponent that does not require Chandra's Ignition, or if this thing would not do much against somebody, boom, that's out. And we simply bring in the all-around lovely Skullspore Nexus. Whenever stuff dies, the total power, you make a dinosaur, a fungus dinosaur. And you can also spend 2 to double somebody's power, and everything has big power. So the bigger it is, the better doubling, the better value you get from that effect. And then 2 Great Henge as well, because when we got Pugnacious, Regal Imperiosaur, super cheap but powerful creatures. Skullspore and Great Henge perfectly synergizing with that. Definitely nicer to have the Skullspore Nexus and the Great Henge instead of Chandra's Ignition, which could, in some matchups, absolutely do nothing. But I say we get right into it. Who knows how many matches it's going to be? Who knows if we're going to face off against perhaps those intense people looking to grind and get the Veteran Explorer title achievement before it's retired and before you can't get it at all on 2 days' time, May 10th. Then Explorer becomes Pioneer. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. A couple cards are going to be released when they do change the name in a couple days. So I don't think it's going to change anything really that I face, but I think there are some key cards that people have been waiting for. At least people will probably be trying out stuff, I would think. I don't think this opponent is on something black related. And I just have a hunch. Oh, that's like a basically perfect hand. I mean, as long as Sylvan Scrying sticks around, we will be getting to 6, turn 4. Play Overlord of the Hauntwoods quite fantastically. We'll start off with Commercial District, of course. See what's on top. It might be a Sunken. Well, that would be lovely to play on turn 2. Could possibly go Pugnacious on. Yeah, we might go Pugnacious on turn 3. Maybe Overlord of the Hauntwoods on turn 3. And we'll see. Oh, I do like a Vaultborn. We're basically guaranteed to get to 7 or 8 with the Overlords plus the Sylvan. Perfect. I just have to hope the opponent doesn't have too much land destruction. That would be rough. And also the fantastic thing, which I've used before, Pugnacious and Regal Imperiosaur, they cost 3. And that's what I'm getting at. And combine them next turn, as I could now. The 6 mana from Castle Garenbrig, you can play, 2 Pugnacious, Regal Imperiosaur, all those sort of things. But, we want to take stuff out. Do we want to take stuff out? I definitely like Overlord of the Hauntwoods. I want more mana, and I want another source of red. This gets it, and this gets us to Vaultborn Tyrant next turn, which is quite key. Overlord is probably going to be exiled, almost guaranteed, with the Vanishing Verse or... Oh my goodness, hashtag pre-recorded. There you go. I haven't had as many fantastic moments like that for a little while, but they got more exile stuff and more destroy stuff. So, what do I like? You know what I like? A good Vaultborn Tyrant. It could have been better to play other stuff to draw out the removal that they have, and we'll just hope they don't have too much more exile things. I feel like they might not, but maybe they just have destroy-based removal, which would be perfect. Good. Fantastic. I'll take it. Hopefully it sticks around for at least one turn, because we're about to dump a bunch of stuff. Doesn't cost 2. Wait, you're gonna portable whole Vaultborn? No. It still maintains the mana value of 7 of the original. Tokens oftentimes have a mana value of 0, but in this case that is not the case. We'll definitely activate Castle Garenbrig. We can play Regal Imperiosaur and all of those, which we're doing. We want to maximize the triggers of Vaultborn Tyrant. The opponent might quit right here, but this also goes to the point of eventually I will get the job done even without Galta's Stampede Tyrant putting everybody on the battlefield and hasty and all that. But if I still get the job done eventually the same amount of times, maybe I would get it done even more doing it this way. Hard to say. Takanuma. Okay, that's not too scary. Maybe they have a sweeper. I don't care at this point because, well, now we got smugglers. We got easily enough for its ability, but I could just play T-Rex. I could go Overlord plus Regal Imperiosaur. They have to have a sweeper to have any hope to survive. Ketramose, the New Dawn, has that ability. Well, they have to have at least 7 or more cards in exile for it to be a creature to block and whatnot, and they're far away from that. Absolutely. Just a bunch of big stuff. They'll run out of a sweeper, but I'll still have more big stuff. It's a very simple plan, and, well, Chandra's Ignition, not quite going to do much. This is an opponent that probably doesn't have too many creatures. They mostly rely on this Ketramose. They got a ton of removal. Eventually, they're going to turn Ketramose on, getting 7 or more things exiled, and then it's indestructible, lifelink, and menace. Not a pretty package for a creature, but I don't think they have too much. We'll get the Great Henge, we'll get Skullspore Nexus. Yeah, it could be possibly no difference. Chandra's Ignition, absolutely fantastic to hear from you, but Chandra's Ignition, if you started out with this, picture it. You face any deck with creatures, this makes them all go away. Regal Imperiosaur at the moment is the only creature with less than 6 power, so this as the way to get rid of or get out of many sticky situations. It seems quite straightforward. You play Pugnacious Hammerskull, the opponent, maybe they don't attack into it because it is pretty big, but they still play a bunch of their own stuff, and perhaps it deters aggression, and you get to turn 5. You have 5 total lands, boom, you go Chandra's Ignition, turn 5, and you only have Pugnacious, and now the opponent has nothing, and that might draw out a concede from them if it's best of 1. They're probably not going to be able to recover, and yeah, I don't know that I would change a whole lot, much of anything, really, for best of 1. because it is just a general, all-around deadly. Maybe a little bit more sweepers. Having Pugnacious and Regal Imperiosaur in, though, the cheap big dinos, that could potentially save me from some aggro, which is definitely always going to be more popular in best of one. Spam a bunch, and there's no sideboard in best of one. There's no sweepers that an aggro opponent has to ever really worry about, because they'll never see them. I don't know. I don't think I wouldn't change too much. The main plan is pretty darn deadly. Hopefully it continues to be in game 2, but it certainly got the job done there. Of course, I wish it was playing quite a bit more than I have this month. I wouldn't say it's not slacking, but I've needed more sleep, and hopefully I'll get back to Mythic. I'm always having a good time, though. Always. No matter what. I think the opponent is scratching their head. This might be the first AFK win of the night. Maybe it happens multiple times. Technically, it's a best of one if you only play one game. It's kind of. Yeah, it was over with the first one, as it would be if you're only playing 60 cards. If you only had 60 cards, but I don't know. Maybe I would spread it out, be a little bit more versatile if it was best of one. Have some toolbox dinosaurs, or just things that get me out of a problem. But really, I have to imagine Chandra's Ignition. You're starting off with a sweeper, but it's sometimes the best sweeper of sweepers, because everything goes away if you're dealing 6 damage to every other creature and opponents. Or you could deal 7. You could deal 8 with Tyrranax Rex. The opponent cannot take out T-Rex, and then boom, Chandra's Ignition. Everybody goes up in smoke, just as this opponent's patience has, boom, gone up in smoke. Lovely stuff. Hopefully the music is also good. I increased the decibels about 3 or 4. As some of the songs, I haven't curated the list in a while, but sometimes they can be bigger, well, louder, I should say. Should be good. We'll continue on, and we'll hope we do good. The best of 3, best of 1 dinosaur variation. Stampede dinos. Still Stampede dinos. I think the thing that makes it Stampede dinos is the lands that are in here, specifically the package of Sunken Citadel, Castle Garenbrig. You make a big amount of mana with just lands, a big amount of mana in the most stable way, because it is only lands. However, this is the Sarkhan Avatar. Yeah, I kind of think it's going to be something aggressive. It's not enough. We might not have enough. We might not be fast enough. Oh boy. That's not going to be good enough. 1 land. If it was 2, maybe I would risk it. 2 plus Sylvan Scrying plus Archdruid's Charm, and then we would likely. Oh well, that's much worse. The only copy of Cavern of Souls. No. That's going to be the keeper, 100%. And we'll keep all the ramping stuff. We get 1 more land, boom, we're safe, we're good. 2 Sylvan Scryings plus Overlord of the Hauntwoods. At the very least, we will get there eventually, but we might not be surrounded. Oh, look, it's mono red with the Sarkhan Avatar. Whoever. Oh, at Castle Garenbrig also quite fantastic. Now the question becomes, I have a turn 3 play of Overlord, but I still want Sunken. I mean, it still might not matter. We want to play Overlord on turn 4, I have to imagine. Overlord for 6. That feels better. Maybe this mono red aggro opponent stumbles just a bit. Perhaps the algorithm is handing me a loss because they saw that I thrashed that previous Ketramose Midrange Exile, whatever we want to call that. I've faced it many times before. Yeah, no, you don't win this. We're down to 10 and I've played 2 lands. Not happening. we'll bring in Brotherhood's End. I mean, we could have got all the creatures that they had out there. Brotherhood's End has helped quite a bit in some cases, but we do have to cut something. Like I mentioned, if facing off against aggro, if it happens, we got the cheap but big stuff too. Maybe deter aggression. Do I like Smuggler Surprise? Does it help me? Yeah, we'll trim that. We'll trim that. It's not like Smuggler Surprise can grab Brotherhood's End or Sylvan Scrying or Archdruid's Charm, any of those instant or sorceries. It's only a creature. Well, it could be 2 creatures, creature in a land, 2 lands. But there's a lot of stuff it can't grab. No. Well, definitely it. It is nice to see the 2 sources, the red plus Brotherhood's End. Basically an instant keep. Do I like to put Castle Garenbrig to the bottom? Oh, they are. Everything has to have a weakness. Of course you can make it better, and I don't necessarily think it's a knock against the deck that aggro can be such a blow. The aggro of Pioneer right now, Rakdos aggro, mono red, whatever it is, it's scary for anybody to face. Question is, will we get enough value out of Brotherhood's End next turn? I don't know about that. If they play 2 creatures, I think I'll cast it. If they play Slick Shot, it's dead, done, 100%, smoked. But I see him in red. Oh, no, just spamming the, yeah, they're not playing anything. Okay, Overlord it is. Getting to 6, well, we might get to 6. I don't have a Sunken Citadel, but if I do draw a land that enters untapped, I could play both Pugnacious Hammerskulls. Wouldn't be a terrible thing, but maybe the opponent thought I'd bring in a bunch of removals, so they pivoted to less creatures and just more straight up burn to the is that what they've done? Really? Okay. That's fun. Even Leyline of Sanctity. Giving yourself hexproof doesn't even protect against Bolt Wave, because Bolt Wave specifically does not target. There are a couple things that don't target. But yeah, we'll see. Maybe they'll finally start to play creatures. Crazy that we haven't exactly seen it quite yet. Oh, yeah, oh, look, you can't beat an aggro deck because then they just remove all the creatures they have. Huh. Fun. Very, very fun. Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, what'll I do? I'll play another Pugnacious Hammerskull, and yeah, from aggro to burn, you just lose. Aggro again it's scary for anyone to face. Even if a deck is strong against it, it's not that strong. Nobody is so incredibly strong against this that they have a crazy win rate. Nobody's going to have an 80% win rate against aggro. It just doesn't happen. That's not a thing, unfortunately. Now, is there some way we can get the job done? Possibly, but they still could beat us. It's going to be tough. Archdruids could take out something. We got Overlord, which is nice. Or they just straight up burn us. Yeah, okay. What do we got going on? They could have 2 burn spells that equal 5, and oh look, I lost. That is not it. No. They finally decided to play a creature. My goodness. What you gonna do? Archdruids can take out that Monastery Swiftspear, but they don't have a whole lot. What does Nahiri's Okay, yeah. Reasonable. That's alright. It's only a 2/3. We're not dead yet. Nah, I'm not risking anything. I know they have nothing, but I want to make sure. Phew. There you go.
No.
Birds are dinosaurs. Birds are present day dinosaurs. I love that clip. Love all the clips I have. Now we just have to do it again. However, this is very important. The opponent still does not know that I actually have sweepers. That could have just been a fluky turn of events. The majority of the creatures were simply lower down in the deck, and the opponent kept a hand that had a ton of burn, which sometimes there's burn decks that have almost no creatures. Yeah. So I have to imagine maybe it was a fluke. I mean, we'll see how it goes here, but I have the sweepers, which I didn't use. That's the point I'm getting at. The opponent does not know I have Brotherhood's End, so we still could surprise him. It wouldn't be surprising much. That hand is not going to cut it. That's going to have to be it. Definitely send Carnage Tyrant to the bottom because it's the costliest thing. Oh boy. Let's see another source of red. Oh, Chandra's Ignition. Not quite. Don't need a Vaultborn Tyrant. We need a land. We have 2 more chances to see it. I think if we get that second source of... Oh, we do get that second source of red. Lovely. I might be... Oh. Well, I need a Sunken eventually. We have the Force that enters untapped, so I will be able to play Brotherhood's End next turn, or possibly Archdruids. But it's looking somewhat strong for the case of Brotherhood's End. Oh boy, oh well. Yeah, do it. I'm gonna save myself taking what? 6, 8 maybe. That Monastery Swift Spear could have been pumped up a lot. Well, they are stumbling in the land department, so... Oh, man, that is good. So it's very good for us. If they cannot punch through Pugnacious, oh boy. If I draw a land that enters untapped next turn, I could just go Chandra's Ignition and boom, smoke every creature they have out of the water. Not... Oh, no, let's see. Yeah, I'll play the other Pugnacious, I think. I like that. Now we got enough for Chandra's Ignition next turn. Do I like another Pugnacious? You know what? I wait. I might want to use Archdruid's Charm to take out Monastery Swift Spear if they pump it up. Okay. I'm playing Chandra's Ignition next turn. So, of course, it doesn't make sense to take it out now. Yeah, we'll search for... Vaultborn Tyrant to gain a bunch of life. I like gaining a bunch of life. Stabilizing against this particular kind of deck is lovely indeed. Get another source of red just in case. And if I had Brotherhood's End, they could pump up. They absolutely could pump up that Swift Spear to more than 3 toughness, so Brotherhood's End might not be able to take it out. But Chandra's Ignition certainly will. Oh, poof. Done. And I'm not attacking with Pugnacious because of the type of deck it is. Not happening. Not that I think they could kill me, but yet I'm glad some of you are here to witness this, because I think I'm about to win. You just got off. Hopefully the audio, everything is a little bit better for you, DJC. But like I mentioned, it seemed like it was good when I rewatched it after the stream was done a couple nights ago. I'll play another Pugnacious. Yes, please. Gain more life, stabilize, and yeah, that's what you get.
But you can't do this to me.
You know how much I sacrificed?
I mean, it's the smallest sample size possible, just one match, but it's certainly not nothing. I don't care that an aggro opponent, mono red aggro burn, got mana screwed. Even 2 lands they can make fantastic stuff happen with that. But I think they were on one for just a little bit too long, and that was their downfall. Phew. Huh. I did it. I mean, I certainly I always have fun, but I'm going to have to put a pin in this idea. I mean, I mentioned it, I think, one time before, but it would be a hard pill to swallow if Galta Stampede Tyrant, the namesake of Stampede Dinos, was not as needed as I once thought. I've been using Galta Stampede Tyrant for over a year, or a year and I don't know. You lose time when you play one specific deck, one specific creature type, but exciting, definitely, to say the least. 2 chances to get the second land for Sylvan for the art. No. Ooh, it's worse. It's like the other one, that other hand from, I think it was game 2. I don't want to mulligan again. I think we have to send that to the bottom. Send Pugnacious and Vaultborn. Maybe Pugnacious is a little bit better than Regal Imperiosaur. That's a 6/6. This is a 5/4. It could power up all the other stuff, but it's probably not a bit. Oh. We have something for it. We have Weathered Runestone. Weathered Runestone stops Narcomoeba, Prized Amalgam. We'll see if they get those other classic graveyard stuff out. Bloodghast. Oh, look. When a land you control enters, you may return this card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Oh, what stops that? A little thing called Weathered Runestone. Of course, this opponent will have some ways to either bounce or destroy Weathered Runestone if we see it in game 2, but we have a thing to stop a large portion of this. Oh, Haunted Dead. Discard 2 cards, return it from the graveyard to the battlefield. Now, it doesn't necessarily stop everything that this deck is doing. Sultai, whatever it is. I usually call it Prized Amalgam, but Creeping Chill, Exile it. That's not casting a spell from the graveyard, so that would still happen, unfortunately. But, we'll see. I mean, I guess we're basically dead. 3, 7. No, I don't think we can survive this one. I'm almost certain we can't survive this one. And with the Smuggler Surprise that I have in my hand at the moment, I'm sure there's going to be at least one instance where we cheat out 2 big creatures. I do kind of miss having the potential of Galta Stampede Tyrant, just dumping everything. To play both Regal Imperiosaurs, I would have to go down to 2, and they have 4 creatures, so I would be dead. Would have to shock myself with that. Stomping Ground, unfortunately. Chandra's Ignition, all their stuff is small, so it's not like I need Chandra's Ignition. If I want to sweep everything, Brotherhood's End would do the trick. Smuggler Surprise, yeah, I could see trimming that. Weathered Runestone is certainly a lot more helpful than Smuggler Surprise, which is just a general thing. Milling to get stuff, make stuff live, giving it hexproof and indestructible, or yep. Or surprising stuff. Well, thank you for a perfect hand. 2 Weathered Runestones is good, because like I mentioned, the opponent bouncing or destroying it. We want to stop all those pesky little creatures from coming back. I like a T-Rex. We're going to be getting to 7 eventually. And maybe if I didn't have a 3rd land, I'd put it to the bottom. Yeah. Oh, they did it turn 1. Okay, well, that answered my question. I'm doing this and hoping it slows them down enough. At the very least, all those creatures that came from the graveyard not happening. I think it should buy enough time. I just hope Weathered Runestone lives at least one turn so I can ramp with Sylvan next turn. Oh, look, the stuff doesn't come back. Oh, shucks. But with that Creeping Chill, we still do lose 3 life. Yeah, I mean, we might be safe. Oh, Brotherhood's End. Send that Narcomoeba back to the graveyard. But first, we need that Sunken Citadel. We'll choose red. Remember, I've done this many times before, but I'm making my 2 sources of... Oh, I almost did it there. I was talking about green. But I'm making the 2 sources of green needed for Castle Garenbrig's activated ability. The one with Commercial District and the Forest. So I'm covered in that regard. Sunken is my 2nd source of red for the sweepers that I have. Taking out the Narcomoeba and maybe only the Narcomoeba if it makes sense to do so. Yeah, no, Narcomoeba doesn't come out of the graveyard. Not happening. I would like a Vaultborn Tyrant though at some point. Yeah, it's good. We don't have to worry about a lot of stuff. But I feel like they could have something for that Weathered Runestone. I don't like that. I'm just going to play another one. We'll use Sylvan Scrying to grab another land next turn. So we could play Tyrranax Rex. We will be able to make 7. Quite nice indeed. And having a backup Castle Garenbrig could also be good if the opponent has a little bit of land destruction. Yeah, no, still the Haunted Dead. That's not bad. I think it's time to Brotherhood's End though. Yeah, let's stop that. Stop the funny business. Good stuff. Now that would really buy us time. Straight up playing the prized amalgam. Okay. I'll take it. Absolutely. Do I like T-Rex? Who's going to be faster? 5, 8. You know what? I'm going to take the shock for that. I'm going to make the mana for Castle Garenbrig. Playing Overlord of the Hauntwoods plus Regal Imperiosaur, 2 creatures feels, I think, better in this moment. Tons of mana, lots of good stuff. But chances are maybe T-Rex would have been a little bit better. They wouldn't have been able to race me. But now I have more mana to... They won't be attacking into what I got going on here. I don't think. Nope. Oh, nuts. Oh, my... Well, look what just showed up. I say we smoke them again. Let's do it. Let's keep up the sweeping. Mill a bunch of stuff that does not come back again. Ha, gotcha. Oh, look. Oh, Narcomoeba can just stay there. Yeah. Fantastic. I'm pretty sure there won't be a... Ooh, hard casting the Bloodghast. Shocker. All right. Well, I like T-Rex. Is this enough to kill him? I don't know. Hard to say. I think that might be enough. Oh, it is enough. Good.
You have no power here.
That was pretty darn fantastic. I'm sure we would have lost without Weathered Runestone, but the Brotherhood's End there. Sweepers doing the trick, winning again without Galta, without Regisaur Alpha, Polanyi's Hatcher. I mean, time will tell. I'm gonna try and test out this twist on Stampede Dinos as much as I can possibly stomach, but it was positive so far. I'm certainly keeping in Brotherhood's End, but I'm kind of eyeing up Chandra's Ignition a bit. Do I like Regal Imperiosaur? Pugnacious. They do have some removal. I did see it get milled a couple times there. So Chandra's Ignition, perhaps there is a chance where I only have one creature, they kill that, then Chandra's Ignition does nothing. Brotherhood's End just straight up always does the damage. So I think that's a little bit more preferable. I saw it go for the throat, get milled into their graveyard the previous game. Ooh, that would be not great. We have 3 chances to see the second land. Commercial Surveils to get the Sylvan. Yeah, I'd like that. Definitely keep Vaultborn Tyrant. Tyrranax Rex is nice, of course, but the life gain, the card draw, very good. Now, I maybe should have mulliganed for another, or the first Weathered Runestone. Good. This is good. We do need another source of red. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I'm just happy to have Brotherhood's End there. Very nice. Will the Sunken be chosen as red? It probably should. I still can make the 2 green with, pardon me, with the castle and commercial district. So I could play Regal Imperiosaur or Pugnacious Hammerskull. And every other land makes green, other than a Cavern of Souls, the 1 copy of Cavern. I almost don't need to cast. Yeah, that's I didn't have Weathered Runestone, so we are being dealt a ton of damage, sadly. Hopefully I can sweep him next turn. My goodness, this is crazy. Yeah, I need to sweep him next turn. Yeah, that does not do the trick. They popped off. They did their thing, probably pretty close to whatever a nut draw would be for that type of deck, but yeah. I had good graveyard hate. Guess I should have mulliganed a little bit more aggressively for it. I'm just glad I had graveyard hate to begin with, because I haven't really ever been too scared of graveyard strategy type decks. I wouldn't normally ever expect to face that particular deck there, so yeah, we'll see. But the sweepers did their thing. Now hopefully it's Azorius Control. I'm crossing my fingers at least once tonight. Probably go for another 17 minutes. Try to go for at least an hour. Take us to midnight. Probably mono red goblins or something like that. That hand looks good. Commercial to start, lovely. We're digging for that 3rd source of green for Archdruid. Sylvan, whatever, Overlord. Technically, Overlord will get us to that 3rd source. We can play Overlord on turn 3. But this is Gruul Aggro. Oh, okay, well, we're probably dead. We are going first, which is nice, but it's another aggro deck. We got fortunate with that mono red, but that's not going to continue too long. We're gonna barf a bunch of, okay, that's good. The new, I think the new one is definitely a ton better, but yeah, I'm a little biased. The old Galta absolutely could fit in there. 100%. Very easy to cast, especially with my love for all things massive dino. The old Galta easily fully reduced to only 2 green. But it's not like having the old Galta in here would make this deck bad by any means. It is the best match, but we have been bested. No, not a chance whatsoever that we would be winning in that particular game. But this one, we got more sweepers. Brotherhood's End cut, like I mentioned. Now bringing in Brotherhoods, a ton of stuff that Smugglers has to pass up, and again, Brotherhood's a lot more useful and just a lot better than the generality of Smuggler Surprise. We certainly need a sweeper, a cheap sweeper, more than that. hey, I got 3 lands. Lovely. 2 sources of red. One of those 3 is a sunken. At the very least, I can play Regal or Overlord, which is also a very good thing. There are 12, wow, 6. There's a lot of stuff that I can play for 3. So we're going to keep moving with the plan, the overall goal, and we'll see. If I draw Castle Garenbrig next turn, I go Overlord. I want to reach 7 on turn 4 to play Vaultborn. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's like... Okay. But is the turn 4 Vaultborn Tyrant going to be enough? Stabilizing, we gain 3 life. When it enters, we draw a card. They don't have a Screaming Nemesis, which could potentially stop me from gaining life permanently for this entire game. But also, which is good, just the Regal Imperiosaurs. Boom, boom. Play both of those 2 triggers potentially from the Vaultborn Tyrant next turn, and that's really going to help us stabilize. If Vaultborn Tyrant dies... Oh. I don't even know what to press.
Oh no! Anyway.
Huh. A crazy night all around. A crazy night, I guess. I'll keep it the same, and... I mean, I don't think, honestly, that's going to happen again. This is aggro. They're going first, but... that hand could be a lot worse. Sunken has to be chosen as red. We don't have an Archdruid's Charm working toward needing to cast that 3 sources of green. So choosing red for Sunken is not going to taint our chances of casting something we don't have at all at the moment. Oh, good. I was a little bit worried. I talked about Archdruid. So I thought it was going to get it, but... Overlord next turn, yeah, that's going to get us our 2nd source of red with the everywhere land that it makes. So we could be on track, maybe, eventually, to cast that Chandra's Ignition there. Hopefully they don't play too much this turn. It's always scary when they play Burning Tree Emissary. You're worried that they have multiples. 1 enters, makes 2. Oh. Yeah, it's got to be Overlord. Oh boy. Hoping for a Brotherhood's End next turn. We basically need that, but we also could be basically dead if they play Reckless Bushwhacker. They got the Aloe Alchemist for nothing. Bushwhacker coming in hot. Oh, Burning Tree into Bushwhacker. Definitely dead if that's the case. Oh my goodness, there's the Reckless Bushwhacker. We don't live. It's aggro. What can you do? If I had a Brotherhood's End, I would have cast it the previous turn. Yeah. Although maybe I wouldn't have. Only taken out the Burning Tree Emissary. Or did they have 2? Either way, aggro did what aggro's supposed to do. I've taken down aggro with more than I have in the past, but... yeah, in some cases, doesn't matter how much removal you have, doesn't matter how many sweepers, you're just gonna poof, be vaporized. Yeah. Are you gonna have a sweeper every single turn for 4 or 5 turns, completely shutting them down from recovering? I don't think so. Yeah. Maybe that's gonna be dragons. Tamer dragons, 5-color dragons with that avatar there. A new dragon from Tarkir Dragonstorm, but we wouldn't be storming away with a win if we kept that hand. Forest definitely to the bottom. I like the sweeper, but with the Sylvan and the Overlord, we're getting the lands we need, so we don't need that 2nd forest. Definitely a little bit extra. Somebody had to use a Thoughtseize at some point tonight. What will they get rid of? That's the question. Sylvan Scrying, probably. And then if they have more hand hate, get rid of that Overlord. Oh, that'd be interesting. Well, we definitely need that forest now. But they better have more hand hate. Oh my god. It could be a counter spell. Could also be rogues. We'll try. Test the waters. Maybe. Hopefully. What, a spell pierce? Okay. Give it a shot. They saw that I had it in my hand, so they were probably potentially going to always hold up mana for that. But it would have been nice to have that sunken down right now. And we could draw it, get an Archdruid, another Sylvan Scrying. Oh, they milled a Thoughtseize. I like that. Oh, this third. Oh, yeah, fun. So much fun.
Dang! Oh.
Hooray. This is one of my most exciting moments. Oh boy. I'm just glad they didn't use the second one. Where there's 3 Thoughtseizes, there's 4. Hopefully not. Dimir Delve. Forest it is. Hopefully we get a Carnage Tyrant or Overlord next turn. But I'm definitely keeping in Chandra's Ignition. It seems like they have decently sized creatures, whatever we want to be calling this. Dimir something. I wasn't playing any creatures that turn. I was only able to make 6 with Castle Garenbrig. I wasn't playing the lovely Vaultborn, but I'm also kind of leaning towards maybe I don't care about a sweeper. Maybe I don't want it. I want the Skull Spore. I want the Great Elm, not Weathered Runestone. Yeah. I think that could be good. They might not have hardly any creatures in there whatsoever. So I could see myself sticking the Pugnacious, Regal Imperiosaur, getting the lovely Great Henge down, stabilizing, drawing a bunch of stuff, but also just playing a bunch of cheap things, burning those counter spells. The opponent does not have a crazy amount, but they do have some. I think there's a reasonable chance that if I can get a counter spell burnt, they might not have any more in their hand. Then something more important would resolve afterwards. 100% keep, absolutely. I do like that stomp. We do have to maintain the 2 sources of green, well, the 3 sources of green for Archdruid. So, yeah, another Castle Garenbrig. I was almost going to look for Cavern of Souls, but I only have. Well, I have my only copy in my hand already. Oh, Damping Sphere. Have no fear. Archdruid's Charm is here. Bye-bye. See you later. Not happening. Hopefully they don't have another one in their hand. But I could have had a counterspell that stopped Archdruids. So we had to stop the Damping Sphere at the opportune moment. I think they'll counter whatever I do. So I won't do anything. I'll wait for them to spend mana. If we have an opening this turn, I guess I'll go. You know what? I'll wait and see what they do. Yeah. I mean, a lot of stuff is bad. I think Archdruids could go, but maybe it doesn't, which maybe they'll spend some more mana. It's hard to say, but I'm casting something this turn. I'm trying to, which is going to make them spend mana, and they won't have anything left when it gets to my turn. 1 mana is not terrible. Okay, Smugglers it is. Good stuff. I mean, they could have a Spell Pierce. That's a very real. Oh. You know what? Vaultborn and a Forest. Good. Very good. Overlord time. Oh. A null. Okay. That was unexpected. 1 blue to counter the Overlord of the Hauntwoods because it is also an enchantment creature. Well, that's pretty neat. Oh, Disdainful Stroke. Oh, gee, I care about that so incredibly much. It's going to counter stuff. Oh boy. Well, I can't counter that. Hopefully they don't have Ether Gust. Probably going to quit here because... Oh, shucks. Hopefully they don't have Exile-based removal. If they don't, they're dead. They're not going to be recovering. Yeah, kill it. Try it. Sweep me with a deadly cover-up or something. Smuggler's comment. What good is that? Yeah, I just like a Carnage Tyrant. I feel like it. Could have tried for Regal Imperiosaur or Pugnacious, but... Nah. But also, I could have had that Stomping Ground enter untapped. I'm not used to using Smuggler Surprise, which, if I had two, I could have given Vaultborn and Carnage Tyrant indestructible and hexproof, if it made sense, and possibly saved them from a sweeper that might be happening right now. Okay. Ooh. 4 for a 4/5. That. Oh my goodness. Great stuff. Great stuff. Love to see it. Love to see it. What you gonna do with that? You're not recovering from this. I can tell you that much. Now we can... It took him a while. I was going to play the Stomping Ground untapped, and I would have been able to activate one of those Castle Garenbrigs, playing the one Pugnacious and the Regal Imperiosaur that I had in my hand. However, I say we keep it as is. We didn't see the Skullspore Nexus or the Great Henge, but I think we might. Yeah, let's get them. Ooh, we won't be getting anything with that. Or that. No lands. Okay, quite a bit better. Yeah, definitely. They got a lot of... You know what? We got to play it as safe as possible. I was going to keep the T-Rex and send... Yeah, no. I thought about that for a second, but we got to maintain things as much as possible. This is what it's all about. Overlord next turn off of Cavern, which will help the second Castle Garenbrig enter untapped because, again, the everywhere land it makes is a forest type. If we see an opening to actually get something down... Oh, the Slasher. We could just be dead, straight up. If they play, whatchamacallit, the guy. Name's on the tip of my tongue. Bloodletter of Aclazots, and we just straight up lose. Unstoppable Slasher makes us lose half our life. Good. Phew. We at least have... Oh. Okay. I thought it was going to be Xerath Sand. Guy can steal stuff from your graveyard, but that's not it. I mean, we're not dead yet. We have to play, at the very least, Vaultborn Tyrant next turn, which, well, we don't have. Regal Imperiosaur, I guess. No. Well, we'll go with Regal Imperiosaur, and we'll use Sylvan Scrying, and we'll see what happens, which is probably going to be death. Yeah. Oh, nuts. I do play Brawl a little bit. Not too much. Gishath, 100%. What is my favorite Dino Brawl commander, though? If I had to choose, would it be Gishath? Yeah. I don't know. It's hard to say. I don't play it a ton. Definitely Pioneer, best of 3, ranked, on arena. I mean, it's pretty much what I only do, but every once in a while I do a Brawl night. You guys watching right now, later on, you could face me if you... Excuse me, if you want to, if you're awake. I know a lot of people are probably sleeping right now, and, well, that's all right. Rest is good. I should know. But yeah, I think we'll leave it there for tonight. That was fantastic. Hopefully you had a good time, relaxing, chilling. Hopefully see you next time, later, whenever. And don't forget to take a big bite. Absolutely. Massive bite out of that like button. Yeah. Peace. Have a good one.